Another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Today, we are doing the Apoc Survival Small Puukko. Now, this one was designed by Mike Wallace. We just did the large one. I got Shane working on my camera stuff. Thank you, Bubba. Mike Wallace designed the big one and this one. It's from Apoc. Patrick Shipley sent it to me to check out. Now, Patrick will be joining Joe and I coming up on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. It's always good having him on. He is with Cass Iberia, and Apoc is under their umbrella. Here's the thing. I wanted to take and do this in real time. This thing's sharp as shit, guys. Again, now I believe, let me look. I'm going to put a link to this in the description. The truth is, the larger one was like 80 bucks. I don't know what the price on this is, but I know both of them are super sharp. I mean, like really, really stupid sharp. And I'm going to prove that to y'all right now. The thing with this one is, and I'll give you measurements in a minute, it's Puukko. It's a Puukko style, right? Most Puukkos are always rounded. I like the way that they've put a little cutout. I'll show you again, a little cutout here with a little bit of a guard. Now, obviously, this isn't a knife you're going to run around stabbing everything under the sun with. I mean, you could if you need to, but you're not going to, right? But if you need to, you'll have a little bit of a guard. Now, Mike is a well-known and well-respected designer. I like a lot of his designs. I really do. He commented on the last video that he designed the Puukkos to handle a lot of everyday tasks. And I think they've accomplished that, to be honest with you. And I like the way Apoc's kind of combined it with kind of a, not a more modern look, but a modern look, and made it sharp as shit. Anytime you got a knife that's sharp, I've said this a million times, you're still in the fight. Now, this is 1 inch diameter sandblast hose, inner diameter. People want to argue with me on that all the damn time, and it's the inner diameter. Once you kind of breach the surface like that, it's pretty easy. This thing's made short work of it. This is a dead man's hose. The thing I like to do with this stuff is this. I like to take the knife, get a different grip on it, and push and run it between the two of them. Just kind of see the control, right? See the sharpness. These are not hard to cut. I never pretend that they are, but it's a medium that's a little softer, a little floppier, and you can do some different things. I'll be honest with you, I was a little concerned about the size of the handle just being a hair short. The blade's fine. That's plenty of blade to work with, plenty. I'd like to see maybe another 1/2 inch on the handle, but it handles very well. No pun intended there. The knife handles very well. I just maybe another 1/2 inch. Again, the blade has plenty on there for it, for stuff like this. I've got the Shane, see if you can get a shot, Bubba, the sheath. Now, for me, guys, it's got a tech lock on it. I like the way this thing rides. Easy in, easy out. I like that a lot. Some of you guys with longer arms may want to change the thing up. I do like, too, that it's MOLLE compatible. And if you're at camp, you can easily set this up for a neck knife carry, which it gives you some options. Hey guys, this is that 2 inch ratchet strap. One of the superintendents, Steve-O, gave it to me yesterday. It had been shot out. I've been running low on this stuff, and when we got crews out of town and whatnot, I don't have ready access, but they've always been cool about making sure I get plenty of ratchet strap. When they can't use it anymore, or they get in trouble with DOT for using it, they give it to me. Here's some of that Kevlar fire hose that makes a really decent cutting medium. The thing I like about this stuff is if you cut it one way, it cuts really easy, but if you go against the grain, it's damn near tough as hell to cut. Now, I like mixing it up with a knife with some different grips. Replicate just a little bit of skinning, a little bit of caping. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as you would in a real situation. But by using the different mediums like this, we can go with some different grips, some different things, see how it holds, see how it applies. And again, the knife handles very, very, very well. It's sharp as hell. And I know I mentioned that a lot, but here's the thing, man. It shows attention to detail from the maker. It shows concern from the maker that they care. Shows that they're pretty good on their QC. Now, there's a lot of options we can go with a small knife like this. I think a lot of times, especially me, not most people, I think most people prefer smaller, maybe a little bit bigger, but smaller blades for finer work. But I'll tell you, something like this, you could pop on your belt, pop in your pocket. It's a perfect pocket fix, blade size, straight push there. Let's see. And do whatever you needed to do. Now, I get that most people aren't going to cut extension cord with their knife. I get it. But every now and then, man, you run across different mediums that you need to cut. And if you're like me, you're going, well, what's in your pocket? What's on your hip? So it's good to know that it can do it. Let's see how it's holding in there with the sharpness. So ratchet strap again. Let's do this. Let's go one. Then we're going to fold it. We'll get 2 pieces. Overall, this line, the Puukko line, I am loving. I mean, I really love it. You can get a pretty good grip there. I can push down with my finger. If I need to come in like this, I can, and I can get in there and do some easier work or a little bit of finer work like that. No problem. And it really, this is kind of a good feeling grip. If I need to go to the chest lever, I can do some of these. Turn it over. I want to make some curls. That's the problem with using some of this stuff. It'll make some nice little curls there. Sometimes it gets a little too dry and you're just slinging them. But if I needed to make a fire, I could get some shavings very quickly. Look at that. I mean, it's making quick work of that right there. Let's see if we can come up with something. Here's a little piece. Do some quick, and we'll go right down between that. There's some lighter knot in there. Now, I'll cover this again, and I say it quite a bit, guys. I don't do a ton of batoning. Now, that's right there in that knot. So here's what I'm going to do. A knife this size, you're not going to just beat the shit out of her. You shouldn't. And the truth, here's the thing, man. We get so wrapped up and so caught up in the survival stuff that we kind of lose our minds. You know, if we get in the vaunted apocalypse situation, people act like they're just going to go crazy and need to you know, chisel their way through a concrete wall. And the truth is, with a tool like this, what you're going to want to do is take care of it. If it's your primary cutting tool, or hell, even if it's your backup cutting tool, you don't want to wreck your stuff. Shane, I want to see if we can get, well, not a shot of me throwing it down. Let's see if we can get some curls there, Bubba. Can you see that? Okay. You see it pretty good? I want to make sure we get a good visual of it. And again, it's just a different way to get you some finer shavings in there. And y'all can see that. I don't know if you can't. Can you see the difference in color, Shane? Yes. All right. So y'all see that straight up lighter knot right there, man. Beautiful stuff. Just like that. We'll come back here in the next segment or so, and we'll make a fire out of it if I don't knock all of it off the dam. All right, Shane. I carried this knife. I shot most of this video around lunch and second break. And so I carried the knife actually while I was sandblasting. And the reason that I did that is pulling the hoses, moving around a lot. I wanted to see if it got in the way. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised at how low profile this is sheath and all. Now, these videos are always a little bit longer when we do them in the moment. And you know, I used to be like, I'm sorry. I'm really not, because I want to give you a good idea of how the knife works and how it looks. And if you'll see right there, you can see we're getting some really fine, some see-through shavings. A sharp knife just makes all the difference. And again, I was impressed with the larger version of this. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a side by side before we completely get out of here. But I was impressed with the larger version. I wasn't sure about this, just, you know, having beat up hands. I mean, I just want to be real about it. You know, I was like, well, I like the knife. I like the way it looks, but let's see. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got throughout the day and throughout doing this review, and this happens a bit, I like it more and more and more. It's just nice. It's easy to maneuver. And when I say things like adding a 1/2 inch, that's not a knock. I'm not pissed off about it. I'm going to throw this in a bag. I'm working on, I'm doing my little series like on Saturdays of what not to do to survive. I'm working on trying to get at least one overnight in. And I'd like to use this knife or the bigger Puukko with just like a pop-up setup, you know, anything that I could get in a haversack. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'd need a whole lot more than that. I might put like a hatchet or something in, something like that. A matter of fact, I've got an Apoc. I've got 2 Apoc hatchets. I might take one of those and just make it like an Apoc camp out, which would be pretty dope. Let's see if we can light this thing off, man. This is always a catch-22 with me. Now remember, we're doing this in real time, which is always, when I'm filming it to narrate, that thing will light off like one time, son, and it's like, damn, one and done. Anytime I'm doing it in real time, nope, I ain't gonna do that. Let's see if we can get it right here. There it is. I want to say this too, and I've got to work on not saying I want to say this, but listen, that is nothing but lighter knot out of dunnage off a pallet. You can find lighter knot fat wood anywhere. You're not going to cook on top of it anyway until that black smoke's gone. Do not be afraid to harvest that resource. Mike, hell of a design, Bubba. I'm really digging this handle. The ergos of it, like I said, a little 1/2 inch, but that, I mean, that's not, I can use this fine and be fine. The truth of the matter is, the more I hold it, I had a couple of guys at work day, Shane and a couple more guys, check it out, and they really love the handle. That's something I'm going to be working with a little more. Guys, the last segment, I'm going to give you a good look at the sheath and we'll do our causes. Appreciate y'all checking it out. Patrick, thank you for sending. Well, guys, thank you for joining me. Listen, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere, and we know that. That's why here on this channel and on others as well, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. Man, you got a place here. That's all that means. Guys, I back the blue. It's not popular. I hear a bunch about it. I get it. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm not here to shove it down your throat or make some political stand. It's just something I believe in. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never ran from that, never quit quitting. Well, what I was saying before I got cut off on the other segment was, Patrick, thank you for letting me check it out. And Mike, great job on the design. Guys, I will put a link in the description. And you can go check it out. The large model, I know it was 70 or 80 bucks. I don't remember exactly. I'll put links to both of them in there. It always comes down to what I carry them. Yeah. I mean, both of the Puukkos, you can get a ton of stuff done in. I'm looking forward to see how they move forward. Check out the description. See if y'all want to check them out. And remember this, kids, I'm Scab. You're not. I love y'all. God knows I do. Have a good day.